Ina from Frugal, Fun, and Fabulous. So today I have two recipes for you guys. This all started with this little guy right here. So this is a leftover rotisserie chicken we had for dinner the other night when I did my Lucky's Market haul. As you can see, we just kind of ate maybe half of it, all right? So I need to use this up. So what I'm gonna do today is make two things with it. I'm gonna make chicken noodle soup, all right? And then I'm also gonna make chicken salad. With the addition of adding two of these chicken breasts, which I also got at Lucky's Market. I'm gonna freeze the other two for later. So two recipes for the price of one, okay? So for this recipe, we're obviously gonna need a big pot, all right? I here have my soup pot. I really rarely get to use this thing. You can also use the crock pot for this recipe as well. So if it's what you have on hand, or if you're working or you wanna just let it run all day, you can totally put the, all the stuff in the crock pot. I have the mayonnaise. That's going to be for our chicken salad. Okay, I've got, my onion here was a little bit small, so I have an onion and a half here that I'm going to be putting in the broth, all right? These are green onions for, this is going to be for the chicken salad, okay? Then I have some baby carrots here that I need to use as well, which I'm going to be putting in the broth as well. Minced garlic for the broth. Sorry, I'm laughing because my texts are going crazy over there. I've got friends texting me. I have a tiny bit of celery. I totally forgot to get more. So this, usually I would put extra celery in the broth and then use some fresh celery for the chicken salad, but I don't have enough, so I'm saving this for the chicken salad. If you have extra celery though, please put some in your broth because it's yummy. I have a lemon, all right. I have some dill. This is for the chicken salad. Poultry seasoning, this is for the broth. Thyme, also for the broth. Celery salt, okay, since I don't have extra celery, I'm gonna put some celery salt in the broth and maybe in the chicken salad too. We'll see how it comes out. This is German bouillon cubes, okay? So that's what they are. It's the same as any other bouillon cubes you would get in the store. If you have chicken bouillon on hand, that's actually probably the best thing for you. I don't have any, so I'm trying to use up what I have in the house already. So this is just clear soup with, it's like soup greens, which is herbs, okay? But any sort of bouillon will be fine. Maybe beef would be a little weird, but you get me, right? So then we have also some grapes that I need to use. So that's gonna go in the chicken salad, and some pasta for the chicken noodle soup. Again, the traditional thing to do would be use egg noodles. I don't have any, so I'm trying to use up what I already have. Obviously, this is already open because we had half of this box for dinner about, I guess, a week ago, so I just need to use this up. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Everything's in the pot. I've got it on high. I'm gonna bring it up to a boil. Then I'm going to reduce the temperature down to like medium-low, like 2, maybe 3, okay? And let that roll for like 45 minutes, maybe even an hour, whatever. It's not an exact science, but anyway, there's everything. You really can't see what's in there, but it's the entire carcass of the leftover rotisserie chicken, 2 of those giant chicken breasts, okay? An onion and a half that I diced up. You can kind of see that. I took those little baby carrots and I cut them into like 4 or 5 little slices, so there's like little round pieces in there. I'll show you once it's cooked. All right. Then I threw 1 bouillon cube in there. I have another one sitting out. It depends on how the flavor comes out after it's all boiled up. I might throw another one in there, just depends. I put about a tablespoon, well, between a teaspoon and a tablespoon of all of these seasonings, okay? So celery salt, thyme, okay, and the poultry seasoning. And then I put about probably 2 good tablespoons of minced garlic in there. I really like garlic, so if you're not too keen on garlic, you can leave it out, or you don't have to put that much, but I'm just a garlic fanatic. So put all that stuff in there. Again, I'm gonna bring this up to a boil, let it roll for 45 minutes to an hour, and then we'll come back and check on it. Hey guys, one more really quick tip. So I've got the broth going. Now my grapes and my celery were really kind of on their last leg, all right? So what I did here with the celery, since I had already pre-chopped it, both of these really needed to be used today, or they were gonna have to go in the trash, all right? So I went through the grapes and I picked out the best looking ones out of all of them. And the bowl is kind of full of those. And then I stuck my celery sticks. I actually chopped off the ends that were a little bit older. on both sides, and then stuck those in here as well with just ice water. So I don't know how it's going to work for the grapes. I guess we'll find out. But for celery, I do this all the time. Like if you've got celery that's getting a little bit wobbly and it's not, you know, too fresh and you want to crispen it up, this is a really quick and easy way to do that. So as the broth is cooking, as this ice melts, I'll just change out the ice probably once to keep it on cold water. But it looks like it's actually working pretty good for the grapes because they were kind of shriveled up a little bit. So it looks like it's plumping them right back up. So awesome. We'll keep an eye on it. I'll let you guys know how it turned out. But at least for celery anyway, if you guys want to re-crisp up your celery, this is a super quick and easy way to do it. Just put it in a bowl of ice water for a little bit. Hey guys, it's been about, honestly, like an hour. Okay, so the reason that happened is because I put it too low initially and I wanted to get it up to like a little bit of a simmer, like a rolling simmer, and it was not doing that. It was just kind of steaming. So I wanted to make sure it was actually boiling so that the chicken would, you know, obviously cook, and then secondly be infused with the flavor from the broth, and that the broth would get a bunch of the flavor from the chicken. So here's what it looks like. It's a little bit dark, as you can see, because of the spices we put into it, but it is really tasty. My house smells amazing right now. So from here, you've got a couple options. So if you are, you know, if you're looking to do this, this is what you can do. Let this come up to, or come down to room temperature, okay? And then stick it in the fridge if you want. That will allow the fat on top to solidify, and you can take a spoon and just kind of scoop it all out. All right, as you can see, it's kind of like, I don't know if you can see with the lighting, but you can see there's like fat like floating on top because it's separating from the broth itself. I really don't care that much about it, so I'm not going to do that. Plus, I would have to take shelves out of my fridge and all that stuff in order to fit this thing in. So what I'm going to do is just let this kind of hang out on, again, a little bit more of a simmer, because that is a whole lot of broth for my soup, so I want to kind of condense it down even more. I already tasted it and it tastes awesome. I was debating again on throwing in another bouillon cube, but I really don't need it, especially because I'm going to actually simmer this down some more so that the flavor will be even stronger. So if you need to add salt or anything, you may want to wait until that step. I mean, if you're happy with the amount of broth that you have now, then flavor it from there, but wait until you get to that amount before you start putting extra salt and stuff in, because you don't want it to be too salty. You can always add salt, but you can't take it away, right? All right, so what I'm going to do then is just set my chicken aside. I'm actually going to pop this in the fridge and let this cool down so that I'm able to handle it. And then once I'm able to handle it, I will take it back out, and then I'll show you kind of how to assemble the chicken salad and then what we're gonna do with the chicken soup as well. Hey guys, the chicken is cooled down, done. I pulled it off the chicken bones over here. This is what came off of that rotisserie chicken. And then this is the chicken breast. There's a lot more of the chicken breast meat because those things were gigantic than there is of this. So what's gonna happen now is I'm going to take this meat right here. I did throw a couple of pieces of this in here. This is going in the soup, okay? So I'm taking this back over here. I'm bringing my stock back up to a boil. As you can see, I did reduce it down probably a good inch and a half. You can see from the rings there around the pot, all right? So that's just going to go right in there. Once that comes back up to a boil, I am going to add my noodles, and they will boil right in that same stock with the meat, the carrots, the onions, all that good stuff. And then that'll be my chicken noodle soup, all right? So then over here, I'm going to go ahead and start assembling the chicken salad, which is going to be green onions, celery, grapes. I'm going to put mayo in there, salt and pepper, dill weed. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and assemble that, and then I will show you guys what it looks like in the very end. Alright guys, there you have it. So this is our chicken noodle soup, which we're going to actually have for dinner tonight. The only thing I forgot to tell you guys, well, there's a couple things. One, make sure you really check very well for bones and cartilage. So when I was kind of scooping through the broth a little bit, I did find a couple of little bones. Be very careful with that, especially if you're using a whole chicken, and especially if you're using one of the rotisserie chickens, because they already are so soft and they're cooked already, so those bones fall off the, fall off the whole body like really easily. So just be careful you don't accidentally leave bones in there. That's a big thing to look out for. The second thing is the lemon. I forgot to tell you guys what I did with that. So I squeezed half, but one half into my pot of soup and then the other half into my chicken salad here, which I have tried already, and it is absolutely delicious. Again, that was just mayo, just enough to coat it. It's up to you. Some people like a lot more mayo, some people like a lot less mayo. Enough to coat the chicken. I had a couple stalks of celery in there. I used about 5 or 6 green onions, some grapes. Another great addition to this too, if you have it, is nuts. Like you can put walnuts or almonds in it. I don't have any on hand right now, but that's really good in there as well. Alright guys, thanks so much for watching again, and if you're new to my channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe. We'd love to have you here, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye!